singer, Stephanie St. Amand, and her talk title is Got Me Hypnotized.
I feel like there's a song about that. I can't have it down. Okay. Got me hypnotized. Hello, everybody. Good morning.
Good morning.
I see your presence. I see you. So, I wake up to the truth of spirit that I am. Ernest Holmes, he stated, or he wrote once, I love this quote. I found it last year. Practically the whole human race is hypnotized because it thinks what somebody else told it to think. I'm going to let that soak in for a second. Fix this. There we go. Practically the whole human race is hypnotized because it thinks what somebody else told it to think. Does this need to be closer to me or further away? So I just recently had this beautiful opportunity to go through the 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. It was life-changing. If I would have handed myself, if I have a time machine, I'm going to go back and hand my 13-year-old self a copy of the 4 Agreements. Because in it, it's talking about how we have been domesticated. And we have been domesticated and hypnotized from the moment we are born. He said, from the moment we are born, we are indoctrinated into society's agreed upon rules, rituals, and reasons. We are even taught not to question those things. Good boys and good girls are rewarded, bad boys and girls are punished until we accept the conditions presented to us. We have been indoctrinated and domesticated by society. It's been happening for thousands of years because, oh, beautiful control. Everybody wants that control. But you know what's absolutely in control? That there is an infinite intelligence supporting a universe that I would never claim to have the arrogance to believe that I know better than an infinite intelligence, a powerful presence that is supporting all of life. Who am I? Who am I? Well, who am I to not question what I am being taught, what I'm being told? Who am I to not question things that rub up against those hard spaces, those moments? And so in New Thought, we talk about it as a collective consciousness, that there is one mind supporting us, and we are the race consciousness. We have this beautiful experience of being human beings. And so our inheritance, our birthright, are these beautiful attributes of the divine. Freedom, love, unconditional acceptance. That is our birthright, our inheritance. And so, as we are indoctrinated into society, those things, those freedoms, seem to feel like they're constricted. They begin to feel bounding us. And so, this life, this beautiful life that we get to live, this infinite expression of this one power of intelligence that is supporting one unique possibility in the infinite and eternal wonder, the purpose of this life is to wake up from that sleep, from that forever sleep, that we wake up to that powerful expression of our unique and unrepeatable self. Our wholeness is the wholeness of the divine, the power that is infused into us, and our ability to make decisions and have free will. That is a powerful presence that is supporting us in our journey. And so if it is in our way, it is probably something we should look at. And instead of turning from that difficult situation, face it. Let's face that. Let's open ourselves up to the power and the presence and stop being hypnotized by this life that is leading us down a path of control and boxes and borders, territories, regions. Our beautiful expression of spirit is that we are on this journey. That if we are living and breathing and having our being, then we are spirit's journey, expressing and expanding. And so, There's this, everyone's seen The Matrix? Right? The Matrix, good old Neo. He wants to wake up. There's something in him, there's a call inside of him. He wants to wake up. And there's this monotonous life that is happening around him. I remember being younger than I am today, about 20 years younger, thinking that I should be somewhere else. I should have more than I do right now. I should have the money that everyone tells me I'm supposed to have. My success is supposed to look like everybody else's success. My love is supposed to look like everybody else's love. My education is supposed to look like everybody else's education. And he wanted to wake up. He wanted to wake up from this collective dream. Our collective consciousness is that waking up from that dream. And so we need to recognize that life is a mirror. In this beautiful teaching, we recognize that, right? That what we think about comes about, what we resist persists. We have all of these tools and all of these little sayings. We have affirmations up on our windows and our doors and our car visors. When road rage happens, just flip that down. I am one with an infinite presence that knows greater than I am. But road rage, right there, is a perfect example of indoctrination. We believe we're so important that we should be getting somewhere faster. And then they meet me at the red light.
Yes.
Right? We're at the same red light, probably going to the same drive-through. But we have that in us, that there's something in us that is unique for us to experience and express. Ernest Holmes said, we believe the ultimate goal of life is to be complete emancipation from all discord of every nature, and that this goal is sure to be attained by all. So if our goal is to be complete emancipation from all discord, then we need to stop listening to that indoctrinated mind and start asking questions about what it is that is for us, what it is that we want to experience. We have been brainwashed, domesticated, and indoctrinated. How many people know a jingle from 1967 still, and you know what product that is from? Right? Our minds are so open and ready to receive new information, so let's change that information. Ernest Holmes said we are surrounded by a subjective intelligence which receives the impress of our thoughts and acts upon it. This natural law in the mental world is neither good nor bad. It can only be said of it that it is, and that we may consciously use it. The law is the law of reflection. For the life is a mirror reflecting us as conditions, the images of our thinking. So the beautiful 2-year-old, wake up the beautiful 2-year-old in each and every one of us to say, why? How many times do we need to answer why? As many times as it takes to get grounded in the truth of our own being. I just want to take this moment to remind each and every one of you that your minds are magnificent and that your minds have the power and potentiality to do and become anything. Your magnificent mind is the expression of that openness to receive. And so what it is that you are unique to bring forth is up to you. What is your unique structure? What is your uniqueness that you want to deliver into this day? I tell all of my students, whenever I'm teaching a class, question everything I say. So I welcome you to question everything. Question everything I say. Question everything political leaders are saying. Question everything your doctor tells you. Question everything, because there is a powerful presence that is your magnificence in your mind that has the power and presence of the infinite expression. Our journey is to wake up, to experience a new reality. Before we can change the world out there, we have to change the world that's in here. And so, reminding you of your magnificent mind, you are the most interesting person you are ever going to have a conversation with. You are the most interesting person to dissect and get to know. The power of you in this life is everything. It is your awareness. that brings forth change. It is your awareness that brings forth love. It is your observation of the power and presence that is within you, your uniqueness, that brings forth freedom to be. So we need to realize and remember that life is a mirror. And we need not wrestle with that mirror, wrestling with yourself, a house divided. That creates suffering and pain and struggle. Tony Robbins was once asked if he had a hard time hypnotizing people into a trance state. He replied, no. The difficulty was waking them up from the trance state they were already in. So many of us are sleepwalking through this life. So let's not get mad at the reflection. We are doing the best that we can. And when we know better, we do better. When we look at our uniqueness in this beautiful reflection, let us know that we are doing the best that we can. Because the truth is, if we know better, we would be doing better. So that freedom to stop beating ourselves up to do better. This is the day that we get to be in. This is the day that we get to have and to experience and to express. This is it. Yesterday is done. Tomorrow, not promised. Today is the day we get. And so, what do we want in it? What do we want to create in it? Do we want to wake up to that truth of spirit that is living inside of us, or do we want to remain hypnotized and sleepwalking? In the Four Agreements, Don Miguel Ruiz said, everything is a mirror that reflects light and creates images of that light. And the world of illusion, the dream, is just like smoke, which doesn't allow us to see what we really are. The real us is pure love, pure light. He continued, I am the smoky mirror. This is our collective consciousness. I am the smoky mirror because I am looking at myself in all of you. But we don't recognize each other because of the smoke in between us. The smoke that is the dream, and the mirror is you, the dreamer. The dreamer. So this beautiful life where we get to be awake and create a new reality, a new life, a new experience, that's the capital R dream. That's the you being spirit in action. You are the space and time where spirit shows up. And there is no crisis here. There's no crisis in any moment if we are present for it. To wake up to our beautiful questioning mind, our beautiful magnificent mind, to wander and wonder through this life. We spend so much of our time in our lives convincing, defending, or justifying our words. What about just letting stuff go? Be in the flow. Doesn't it sound good? I have spent so much of my life defending my existence. Does anyone can relate to that? Defending your capabilities, your potential, justifying why you can use a certain bathroom. There are these things that just don't make sense because we have been taught what to believe, taught what to think, taught how to act, how to be. What do you want to be? That's what spirit wants for you. That's what divine wisdom has created you for. It already has a whole bunch of Joes and Peters and Franks. It has all of them. But there's only one of you. One Vivian, one Candace. There's only one of you. And that powerful presence is knowing this life through you. How clear do you want to be with yourself? I think the answer is to be absolutely loving, unconditional, radical love. Radical love. You're allowed to have your opinions and thoughts even though they might try to shovel me away and shut me down. You're allowed to have that. And I'm allowed to react the way I want to react. But as spirit, as unconditional loving presence, what is my role in this? Because anyone who is trying to quiet down our existence, is simply trying to express and indoctrinate their own existence into your thoughts and your activities. So love is the answer. How do we wake up? How do we wake up? How do we wake up to love? How do we wake up? We awaken by asking the right questions. This is from Susie Cassman, Rise Up and Salute the Sun. We awaken by asking the right questions. We awaken when we see knowledge being spread that goes against our own personal experience. We awaken when we see popular opinion being wrong but accepted as being right, and what is right being pushed as being wrong. We awaken by seeking answers in corners that are not popular. And we awaken by turning on the light inside when everything outside feels dark. Everything outside of you, when it feels dark, remember that reflection of the divine is the light that is planted within you before time existed. It is infinite and eternal. There's one sacred light that has been implanted in your unique and unrepeatable expression. And you get to wake up to that expression. You get to wake up to who you are and who you want to be. What do you want to let go of? So, one power. There's only one power. So let's step back and recognize that. This is a great community to recognize that we are one. This teaching of Science of Mind teaches us that there is only one power and presence that is back of absolutely everything. There's only one life living and breathing and having its being. It is living inside of you. It is awakening in you with every class that you take, with every workshop you muscle through, with every difficult conversation you step away from, take a breath, and engage again. These are all surface appearances, but at the depth of you, there is a power that is superb and exquisite. So what we need to know is that we live in this universal flow. We really don't have control of anything. And so we spend a lot of time with expressing energy on things we cannot control. I love control. I'll be the first to admit I love control. Perfect example is this morning. My wife and I, we have this 4 holes toothbrush holder. There's only 2 of us. But I like to have my toothbrush in a specific hole. And she always moves it. I know I'm putting my toothbrush back where it belongs, where I put it, but she likes to have them together. So every day I take my toothbrush and I brush my teeth and I put my toothbrush back where I want to put it. And if she wants to move it again tomorrow, it's still gonna go back to where I want it. There's this beautiful expression of control that we absolutely can have. I know what time I go to bed and what time I get up. Those are things that we can control. When my cat doesn't wake me up at the same time, I don't set an alarm. My cat's my alarm. But some days she likes to sleep in, and what's that about? I'm just totally not gonna make it. Thank God she gets up super early, so I have lots of time. So it is about love. And to change the outside stuff, we need to change the inside stuff. And so question your thoughts. Question your thoughts. And let love be the guide. Let love be the motor that runs you. Ernest Holmes wrote, "Love is within us. It cannot be destroyed. It cannot be ignored. To the extent that we abandon love, we feel abandoned by it. Denying love is our only problem, and embracing it is the only answer. Through the power of love, we can let go of past history and begin again. Love heals, forgives, and makes whole." I'm going to say that again. Love heals, love forgives, and love makes whole. 3 pillars of life. So love is our inheritance, forgiveness is our inheritance, and wholeness is our birthright. We are this expression, and the only way that love shows up in the outer world is when we find it within us. The only love we have to give is that which is already within us. The only love that is within us is the love of spirit. There is this powerful presence that is expressing itself as love, unconditional love and acceptance for who you are. It is not judging you for any missteps. It is not judging you for any mistakes or misdeeds. It is not judging you. Our freedom is why we judge ourselves. We are bound because we are first free. And being able to let go of our indoctrination, letting ourselves be undomesticated, taking the opportunity to unlearn what we've been taught, unlearning even our old selves, breaking the habit of being yourself. Another great book, Joe Dispenza. So there are two things that we can do to engage in unlearning. The big one is meditation. If you don't meditate and you have a monkey mind, there's at least one meditation that you can take in every single week, and that is at 10:30 in this room. So if you don't know how to meditate and you need a little support in that, 10:30 Sunday mornings, there's meditation here. There's also guided meditations on YouTube, out the wazoo. There's like 100 billion guided meditations that you can watch on YouTube, if you aren't able to sit by yourself and listen. But really meditate, really stepping into that powerful place where you let the outside world go and you pay attention to the deep voice that is speaking to you always, but making time in your life to be in that powerful place, to be open, observing your thoughts, observing the way you think. Isn't that interesting? That I just had that thought. Isn't that fascinating that I think that way? I wonder where I found that thought. I wonder when that thought rooted. So raw, real, deep meditation quiets the mind enough to let the storyteller within each of us, to let go of those domesticated voices, to recede so that we can hear our true self. And this is not an overnight process. I'm 15 years sober from non-meditation. So it's not an overnight success, unless you're an absolutist, and I totally honor you if you are. If you wake up tomorrow awake, truly, God bless you, please come and teach us. But for most of us, every single day, we are a work in progress. And so we take time to engage in that parts of us through meditation. This unraveling that true self, the divine nature that is within us, it is always there, and we get to unravel and reveal layer by layer all of our stuff and clear it out. Be in the flow of that infinite mind. The second thing is compassionate listening. Listening from a place of curiosity, not a desire to be right. Have you ever been in a conversation where the person is talking to you, but you are so in your stuff that you're planning what you are going to say back to them and not listening to a word they say? They might have said something amazing that could have shifted your consciousness. I'm just speaking for myself. I'm using you, but I know I've been awakened in moments where I just realized that I was in a conversation with someone and I wasn't present for it. So being deeply present for one another and for yourself, to joyfully unravel this beautiful thing that is deep listening. Listening from your heart and not your position, right? Is that even your position? Is the first question. We all have the opportunity to get hooked, side hustled, all of that. The Course in Miracles reminds us, I am never upset for the reason I think. I'm never upset for the reason I think. And the reason I think is probably something worth questioning. So it's the most important task of this life is to wake up. Wake up to the beauty of who you are. Wake up to the truth of your being. Wake up to this infinite potential that you are. Yet you are sitting on a storehouse of possibility and potentiality. Ground in this truth of your own being, that one power and presence that has created the constellations that are unmeasurable in this universe has also created every cell and every atom in your body in its perfection. And there's so much we can do to love ourselves, learn to love ourselves better, and all of that good stuff. Remember, Marianne Williamson wrote in The Return to Love, once we get to that point where we realize that God is love, we understand that following God simply means following the dictates of love. The hurdle we have to face next is the question of whether or not love is such a wise thing to follow. The question is no longer, what is God? The question we ask now is, what is love? What is love? And how can I use it to brighten up this life and